brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement Studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking host, the good old boys. Suds, Suds, Suds. It's time for more Suds.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another Suds segment where every good story starts with a beer and ends with a belch.
Sure about that, Dave?
There you go.
Wow.
On demand, baby.
Yeah. This is good old gal Julieanna, and joining me today for another special edition are my co-hosts, good old boy Dave.
Hey, everybody.
And good old boy Mike.
What part of this is special besides Dave?
Starting early, aren't we?
Yeah. Early, often. You know, it's all about timing and balance, Dave.
Yeah, exactly. And good old boy Kendall.
It's a pleasure to be here, as always.
Yay! Kendall and his wife June, or Junebug, as some of her friends call her, do a beer blog that we'll find out more about later in the show.
That's what we call a dramatic pause.
A dramatic pause. I'm sorry. Well, today's show is a brewery takeover. We're going to be talking about one of our favorite breweries today, which is Trinity Brewing in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Yay!
Julieanna and I discovered Trinity in 2014 when we went to Colorado for the Great American Beer Festival. We were going to Colorado Springs to visit the Garden of the Gods in Pikes Peak, and I found Trinity by sheer dumb luck. Can you believe that?
Actually, that's the most unbelievable thing I've heard today. You wrote that down right there in front of me, Dave. You said, actually, that's the most believable thing I've heard today. Not unbelievable. Anyway.
This is our third episode of the day, folks.
Yeah,
so
well.
Give us a little slack. Mm-hmm. I'm fairly certain that was an insult, but since this is Trinity Day, I'm going to let it pass.
Anyway, Trinity Brewing Company is the brainchild of Jason Yester, a.k.a. Saison Man.
Dude.
Saison Man.
What?
You just gave away Saison Man's secret identity.
Dave, look. I know you think he has super brewing powers or some sort of Saison yeast whispering capabilities, but he is not a superhero.
If he's not a superhero, why would he call himself Saison Man?
Maybe because he's really, really into Saisons. In fact, his Twitter profile says, I love Saisons more than anyone.
Well, if he's not a superhero, then why does he have his own theme song?
Here I come to save the beer.
Dave, look, you just splice that stuff together.
It's like bad blending on the fly.
And you did kind of a crappy job at it, too, okay?
That was flawless.
Yeah, flawless.
in your mind or in reality, okay?
In the context of how this episode has started, that was flawless.
There are some things you can't fix in post. That's it, baby. Right there.
Wow. Okay, Dave, just tell us what Trinity beers we're going to be drinking today.
Fine, but just so you know, you're now my arch nemesis.
Cool.
Here's today's lineup.
Do I get a superhero name?
All three of you are my arch nemesis.
Can I wear a cape?
I like glitter and nail polish. What can I be?
That doesn't make you a superhero, I can tell you that. Wow. Okay. So here's today's lineup. Passion Swing. That goes with Mike's glitter and nail polish.
Oh, yes, it does.
You never even call me by my name. Super Juice Solution. Mr. Saison.
Here I come to save the day.
Emma's Pumpkin. Not Emma's Melons. And TPS Report.
Okay, that was pleasant. Good old boy Mike, why don't you be a hero and read today's SUDS ratings for us. Pretty please.
We
please,
fixed
please.
the glitch. So he won't be receiving a paycheck anymore, so it'll just work itself out now.
We will be tasting and discussing these beers along with other wide-ranging side topics. And we'll be using our SUDS rating plus our signature belching sounds, as well as other bodily noises coming from Dave. Here are those ratings. Now, please stand by. Number 1, that sucks. Give me anything but a banquet beer. Number 2, was that a belch? Number 3, what a relief. Number 4, a buddy should really not make that sound. And number 5, listen to that hang time. Give me another.
Well, Dave, let's get started, Mr. Superhero.
No, it says right there, thanks, Mike.
Oh.
See?
Yeah.
Stick to the script.
See, right there, in big bold letters, it just says, thanks, Mike.
Oh, Jesus.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay, all
that
right.
was great. Okay, Dave, let's get started, okay? The first beer that we're going to talk about today is...
Passion Swing.
Right. It is 4.1% ABV, and it is aged on guava fruit and passion fruit and red grapefruit.
Yes, Passion Swing. So, my notes on this were funky and sweet. No, literally, that's all I wrote, and I can't talk with my mouth full of Passion Swing, even though I tried.
So swallow.
Wow.
She's asking you to swallow on demand, Dave.
It happens. It's not the first time.
That's right.
I was young and I needed the money.
It's a family-friendly beer show, everyone.
I don't think this is friendly to anyone.
Please
This is not even a host
Please do not
friendly.
change the channel yet. We got at least 6.5 more minutes before it gets really good.
It's got to get better than this, everybody. Just remember that.
I believe you have my stapler.
I think the passion fruit and the guava play very well together. Guava fruit's a very distinct flavor, and it comes out very well in this beer. I think it's very good. I wish that the bottle had not erupted in the sink and that I got to try a larger sample, or I would have more to say. But I do think it's a very good beer, and I gave this a 4.
Good old boy Mike, thoughts?
Well, the entire flight of what we had, I actually tasted all of these pretty much blind. The only beer that I had had previously where I knew the name and I remembered the beer was TPS Report. I actually have tasted quite a few of these actually at the Trinity Brewing Tap House. But I must say that with the passage of time, I'd really not remembered a lot of these beers. So a lot of my tasting notes are aligned towards what was I tasting in the glass. So I have no idea what the description was, so we're going through these. The Passion Swing, very brief notes, on this. I just wrote down that it was bitter, kind of a subtle sweetness. My SUDS rating was a 3.
Good old boy Kendall.
I got the bitterness that good old boy Mike talked about, but I really think that really offsets the flavors from the guava and the passion fruit nicely. I enjoyed the beer. And is this a variant on the Red Swing Line beer that they do?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So they just take the Red Swing Line, which is an American Pale Ale, and age it on some fruit, barrel-aged. Delicious. I really like the beer. It was flavorful, really. It's interesting when you get the kind of that hop character, the bitterness playing with the fruits that aren't coming. Sometimes you can get even a passion fruit flavor from some of the New World hops.
Yeah, right.
But this works really well together. I wish we had more of it.
Me too. Bigger bottles, Saison Man. Bigger bottles.
Yeah, so I'm giving it a 4.
So, adding fruit to an American IPA. Wow, what a novel concept.
It works, people.
42 different versions that they've put out from Ballast Point. They've exhausted the entire lexicon of fruits.
They're going to run out of fruit soon.
Oh, hell, they had to go into peppers.
Yeah. Well, I, like everyone else, really enjoyed this beer, and the guava and the passion fruit were kind of muddled together for me, but I got the grapefruit at the end, and it was really nice. It, like, that tarty finish just kind of rounded the whole thing out, if that makes any sense. Yeah, it was tarty.
Did it show up late?
It did. It was a little late to the party, yes. Anyways, I really enjoyed this, and I gave this a 4.
So we're going to have to add tarty to the entire lexicon now.
Tarty. Tarty.
Is that, so that's how we're going to spell it?
That's how it is
I want to
spelled.
make sure we get it right on the t-shirt.
How would you spell it?
I don't know. However, Julieanna wanted it to be used.
Tarty. Yep.
Tarty.
Yep. Tarty.
I understand. I understand how twisted this entire conversation is becoming.
So we're getting T-shirts? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's all that Kendall heard out of the entire conversation.
Whoa, free
Get a T-shirt out of this.
Free clothes. Wow.
I need something to wear to work.
Would you wear a tardy T-shirt to work?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Would it be late?
I might be.
To be continued after this break.
Rolling clouds and crashing surf, iridescent dunes reflecting by the light of a rising, glowing moon. Seashore mesmerizing, night breeze hypnotizing. We've come across these back roads none too soon. Look to the left, to the right. Keep your eyes on the road, my darling. Wondering if we're only passing through. Open roads and open windows. My hand is yours forever, sweet love.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. We are doing a Trinity Brewing Company takeover today. Next up, we're going to be talking about...
I thought about it was T-shirts with Kendall.
I love a good T-shirt.
T-shirts with Kendall will go well, too.
That would be a good... that'd be like a good side business.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
T-shirts.
Might be a little difficult to bring it to radio, but I'm up to the challenge. Is there beer?
Show it. You can describe the T-shirt somewhere.
Is there beer involved?
So
most of them are beer T-shirts.
Today, Kendall is wearing a tight-fitting, slightly faded
Chattanooga, y'all.
Okay. Let's reel this one back in. So the next beer on our list of Trinity beers is You Never Even Call Me By My Name.
A great David Allan Coe song.
Absolutely.
It is a black Saison Royale.
Huh.
Oh.
And
Does that mean it comes with cheese?
Ooh.
Can I throw my
I
pinky
think
up?
the cheese is extra.
Yes. Now, you will be surprised to know that this puppy is a whopping 12.2% ABV.
Wow.
Good night,
And
everybody.
It is brewed with...
I'm sipping it, Papa.
It is brewed with sarsaparilla,
Sarsaparilla?
sassafras,
Sassafras?
coriander,
That doesn't sound funny.
hibiscus, and cumin.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
I got
God
absolutely
damn, dude.
nothing. When you hear what I wrote down, you'll go, yeah, you're like 0 for 20, Mike. I can't believe you couldn't nail one of those out of there. Anyway,
Okay.
That's,
You can't tell your sassafras from your elbow.
oh, my goodness. This is going to be so funny.
So, good old boy Dave, what'd you think of this?
Well, I totally knew that it had...
Right.
Actually, I knew none of that, which I'm used to. But it is a very unique blend of flavors. And it's actually quite pleasing to me. This is not the kind of beer, not to mention the fact it's, what'd you say, 1,200% ABV?
Yes, 1,202.
Yeah.
32 ingredients.
Not to mention the fact that it's a 12% beer, but just it's a very heavy, very kind of complex flavor, very kind of spice forward, so that you couldn't really, or at least I couldn't drink a lot of this all the time, but this would be a good beer, I think, for like an after dinner beer or something, after a big meal, to just kind of put you over the edge, send you on your way to bed, good night, lights out. I would definitely give this one a 3.
Good boy, Mike. I'm waiting with bated breath.
You don't have to call me darling, darling. You never even call me by my name.
I actually wrote down hold your horses, grape bitterness skins. So it's almost like the skins of a grape. I really felt like that was kind of more the bitterness, that was kind of presenting itself in this. I thought it was kind of creamy overall, and I actually thought it had a bit of some cocoa nibs in it.
Wow.
So
I can see that.
There you go.
And so how many of those ingredients did I get correct?
0.
That's right. Yeah, thank you. I got absolutely none of those correct.
Nice
Overall,
try, though.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a really interesting beer. I actually like the overall flavor profile. My SUDS rating for this is a 4.
Good old boy, Kendall. What'd you think?
Definitely not a after lawn mowing beer, or what they commonly call lawnmower beer.
Yeah.
But
Boy, a winter post dinner beer.
A wintertime beer.
Yeah.
This is. I thought it was very nice. I thought it was a little roasty. Had a nice sweetness.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was supposed to be, but it reminded me of some Baltic porters I've had that are very big and flavorful, and just a little bit of roast. And I didn't really know what it was, but I enjoyed the flavors, and that's why I gave it a 4.
Nice.
Good old gal, Julieanna.
I loved this beer. I loved it for a few reasons. First of all, because it's so different from anything that Saison Man otherwise makes.
Very much so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not bready. It's not sour. It's easy drinking. It is definitely what I would consider a dessert beer, because there is this like great sweetness to it, and I get a lot of sarsaparilla in it, because it reminds me of the sarsaparilla soda that I used to have as a kid. Because I'm from that neck of the woods where we had sarsaparilla, we had birch, we had white birch and black birch beer, and all of these.
Was it like segregated or something?
No.
Oh.
No, this is a neutral state.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. That's very progressive. I like that.
Thank you.
Sarsaparilla.
Yes. Anyways, but a really nice sweetness on the end too, and it kind of lingered, kind of like molasses-y-ishness.
Oh, that's a good one. Molasses-ish.
That'll make a good
How
T-shirt.
do you even say that? Molasses-ishness.
Yes. Okay, say that 10 times. Anyways, I'm giving this one a 4 as well.
I can't even count the friggin' syllables.
I think the one spice out of that whole blend, it's the coriander, is the thing that's very pronounced. The sassafras is the thing that's kind of bringing around a lot of the bittering agent, in that. I mean, now that I'm actually able to read all the ingredients, it's a little easier for me to kind of deconstruct what was going on, even though I didn't know jack squat, and I thought it tasted like grape skin.
So you feel your hindsight is 20/20?
It's something in my hind end, but anyway.
Wow. Okay.
Next beer.
Next up for bids is the Super Juice. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's the Super Juice Solution Super IPA.
It is super.
It is only 4.1%.
Wow. That's
Really?
amazing.
I know. That I was really impressed by. And it is soured with our good old friend Lactobacillus. And it has a touch of coriander. But no fruits were used or damaged in this recipe.
What? No way.
Got some lacto in your back dough?
Huh.
Good old boy Dave started off.
Hang on, folks. We got to cut Dave off.
So no fruit was used.
That's crazy.
Huh. That tricky Saison bastard.
How many of us believe that? None of us. yeah.
Well, that's just the magic
That's
of
the magic of the cheese,
fermentation, I guess.
Wow. Okay.
Well, the fact that it's this flavorful
As a believer.
and this delicious and is A, 4.1%, and B, he didn't have to go and rely on, utilizing any actual fruits in it. That this beer, above all, may be the greatest testament to Saison Man's abilities, because that's incredibly impressive, because we were all sure that there was like some varietal of grapefruit or something that was being used in this.
Absolutely. Good use of hops right there.
It was fantastic. I was going to give it a 4, but now that I know this, I'm actually going to give this beer a 5.
Wow, how about that?
Mikey.
Good old boy Mike, what'd you think?
So I have to ask, so did you bring that grapefruit sculpin down as a point of comparison? Or you just had it here for
I
the
just
sake
had it
that
here for the sake of it being here. Why
She
do you
just
wanna...
likes to have a little sculpin by her side.
I want to just smell it. Yeah.
Uh-oh. He's smelling a can.
Huh. So that's what fruit smells like, and this is what grapefruit that's not in smells like.
That's what the absence of fruit smells like.
All right. So, again, remember, I tasted these like completely blind. I wrote down for super juice, grapefruit, but in a non-acidic way. There was some fruit there, and I was actually trying to kind of think through. There's actually a variety of grapefruit that doesn't have like a lot of acidic, quality to it. That's in that same kind of blood orange, kind of variety of grapefruit. I just can't remember the name of that variety of grapefruit that had that, but yeah, very pronounced aroma for grapefruit in this. I cannot believe that there is not any
The way
fruit
it
in this
hangs,
at all.
like that flavor hangs on your lips and everything after you've already drank it. It's just like drinking grapefruit juice.
It has a very good tang, that comes off it as well. It's incredibly well balanced beer.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are hearing good old boy Mike sipping.
Sipping and gushing.
I'm going to follow right along the Dave Gravy train, and I'm going to step it up and move that to a 5. It's that good.
Kendall.
I'm just impressed with the quality of beer making here. Pretty amazing. I'm sorry, Kendall. Fire away, babe.
Okay. I'm just going to say a lot of what you guys said. It is a beautiful beer. When you think of Trinity, you think of sour, you think of barrel age, you think of funk, Brett, all of those things. You don't think of necessarily hops. And this is a great testament, I think, to his ability of using hops, because we all know there are hops out there that have great citrus and grapefruit flavors, and somehow he's found a way to extract those flavors, maybe through some late hopping or dry hopping. And I think what's given it that character of juice is the acidity, because the acidity is coming in as a sour beer. You take the acidity with a grapefruit flavor, boom, you got grapefruit juice. And I think it's a fantastic combination. A sour IPA is brilliant. I love that. I'm with you guys. It's a 5.
See, we can be on the same page.
We can. Occasionally.
And then there was Julieanna.
Well, I got nothing else to say. I mean, it's a beautiful beer. It's the odd thing about it is that it is not really as soury as
another new word,
another new T-shirt.
Dude, is somebody writing this down?
I'm trying.
No, but it's not. It's not as soury as I guess I expected it to be with the lacto. Which really is making me wonder, dude, what flippin' hops are you using in this puppy? Because I want to make a beer just like this. I mean, this is really as fresh as a grapefruit can be without being in the beer. It's crazy, and so. Again, Reverend Mark, so quaffable too. I mean, it's just really easy going down, and it makes you want to drink more and more and more. And, the fact that it's a session IPA of sorts, that blows me away too, because there's so much flavor packed into this puppy. 5-star to this one.
Oh, you're going to take the risk. There was something wrong with this beer.
What?
I figured it out.
Not in a big enough bottle?
It did not come in a 3-liter bottle.
The bottle is too small.
We don't have a 15-gallon keg of it.
Kendall is reaching across, grabbing just the final remainder of this. So I don't blame you, man.
Kendall's
that 375 is too small of a bottle.
I agree.
That sucker belongs in a Magnum.
Yeah, it really does. Okay. Moving on. Speaking of Saison Man, is Mr. Saison. The Saison VL, and forgive me for not knowing how to say this right if I'm saying it wrong. So this one is kind of
VLE.
VLE,
right?
Like VLE sausage.
Yeah, right. Just like David was saying. Yeah.
Wow.
Mike wouldn't tell you the wrong thing.
Absolutely not.
Sure. Okay. Now,
no way Mike would make anybody look stupid on the air.
Yeah. Okay. This one is 5.6% ABV. Yeah, exactly. And it has amaranth grains, mustard seed, lemongrass, and rose hips that give it that slightly cherry flavor. Anyways, good old boy Dave, take it away.
Well, first off, I'm more of a rose thighs kind of guy, but, rose hips are okay. Saison Man, Trinity, they use all kinds of stuff like mustard seed, and he has beers with grains of paradise and cucumbers and just anything you can pick up off the ground or pull off a bush. He's gonna figure out a way to turn it into a really good beer, and that's what's really cool about him. Maybe that's part of being out in Colorado. Hey, if it's green, consume it in one fashion or another. But this beer is very opposite of Super Juice Solution in the fact that it's very sweet to me, but it's absolutely quite delicious. It's got a little bit of funkiness, a little barn house to it, as we say on the show. Thanks to my lovely counterpart over there. But a little bready. I find it to be a very refreshing, nice, easy drinking beer, and I would definitely give this one a 4.
Cool. Good old boy Mike.
For Mr. Saison VL
VLE.
So I wrote down just a really solid beer, very creamy. Even as we're sitting here, we've had these sitting in the glass for at least half hour. Still has a bit of some head to it, in all of our glasses. I thought it was kind of malty. I like Dave's, choice of using Barnhousey effectively. But I thought it had just kind of a bit of a good malt backbone. I didn't know this was a Saison. Seriously, all I had was Miss S. Mr. S on my glass, and I didn't know what this was. So I actually wrote down Saison, so that's good. Score 1 for the... Yep, there you go. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. There are no grape skins in this. So I just thought it was a really good, solid beer. My SUDS rating for this is 4.
Excuse you, Dave.
What? No, that was the thing.
No, it was not the thing. Good old boy Kendall.
I'm not sure I'm going to come to the same party.
Do you need a t-shirt?
It's a Saison. It's got a nice funk. There's a little peppery character there. But as far as Saisons goes, I didn't think it was anything special. It's a good, solid Saison. but nothing unique enough to really capture my attention. I could drink it just fine, but to me it was just a 3.
I can live with that. It's a good blank canvas. That's for sure. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I think they could do a lot with it, but it's a Saison. Yeah,
This was Barnhouse Cream to me.
Is that a thing?
That's a band from the 70s, isn't
I
it?
agree. That sounds like a song in the making.
I gotta have more cowbell. Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
That was kind of wimpy. Dave? All right. Anyways, I really like this beer, though. Yeah, I know I say that all the time. But it was creamy. It was creamy Barnhouse. Like, there was a bit of funk, but it was a creamy funk, and it kind of reminded me of like a Barnhouse lemon cream, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I get that. I can see it.
Yeah. I gave this a 4.
Gave it a 4. Barnhouse lemon cream. That sounds like a pie. Might be pretty good.
We should work on that.
Yeah, Barnhouse lemon cream.
Well, I wonder if Jason created this version in some experimentation while kind of working with, his base yeast.
Maybe.
I wonder if that's how, this beer basically came around.
Yeah.
That he was just, this was going through another iteration of some of the yeast that he uses in a lot of the Saisons.
That makes a lot of sense. I can see that.
To be continued after this brief interlude.
Baby, the whole elation running down this lover's avenue. As slow as a willow blows, or as fast as the whirlwind grows, we glide beneath the stars in cobalt blue. Look to the left, to the right. Keep your eyes on the road, my darling. Wondering if we're only passing through. Open roads and open windows. My hand is yours forever, sweet love. Our eyes ahead on these back roads with a view.
Welcome back, ladies and gents, as we talk about Trinity Brewing Company.
Sucker, you came back.
Wow.
Well, some of us are really glad that you did come back.
Some of us are indifferent.
Okay.
A lot of things, but indifferent is not one of them.
I won't say which is which.
Wow. Okay. The next beer that we are going to talk about is...
Wait, hold on. Before we talk about beers, all right, so we've established that Saison Man is the head brewer and the owner at Trinity, right? So, Saison Man. Let's talk about that for a second. That's a badass name, right? So, think about superhero names, but then think about beer styles. So, like, if you were Stout Boy... or
I could go with that name.
Well, it fits, but it's not really, like, you don't get a lot of street cred off of Stout Boy. I mean, you could be Saison Man's sidekick, that's kind of a sidekick name, but he's kind of cornered the market on it a little bit, as far as cool beer superhero names, right?
What about the Incredible Porter?
Sounds like a guy who works on a train.
Really well.
Really, really well. Yeah, I don't know. I mean...
This is the thing that vast marketing meetings sound like at breweries with lots of beer.
After lots of beer.
Usually before, during, and after.
Yeah.
Let's name a series of beers after superheroes.
Sure.
Yes. And questionable ingredients.
Dirty Blonde.
What do you think we should call a cactus flower beer? It's like, I don't know where you would go with that.
I don't know. I mean, what do you call a pale ale? What's a superhero for a pale ale? You know?
I don't know.
Or an IPA.
Well, that's my thing. Is
it super juicy?
Something is super.
But that's the thing. It's like Saison Man. He got it. What else you gonna do?
Well, that's why he Saison Man.
Irish Red, you know.
I think I want to think about my superpower as we're talking about the next beer.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. So next up is Emma's Pumpkin Citrull
Invisibility
Saison. And forgive me for saying that wrong.
Citrull what?
Citrull?
Citrull. What does that mean?
I don't know. It is now this pumpkin here, pardon the French, or the pun, is 9.5%.
That's a big pumpkin.
That is a big pumpkin, yes. So this contains garam masala.
What is that?
Brown
Something
sugar.
in a Rake and Bass movie.
What is that?
Brown sugar? You know what brown sugar is. Listen to the Rolling Stones.
That's a good superhero name.
Sure. In a 70s movie. Torched, roasted, and caramelized sugar pumpkins. White sage, coriander, and mace.
They put a mace in it? Or they like sprayed some mace in it? That doesn't
Pepper
seem
spray.
very good.
There's that. Okay. Dave, take it away.
Well, as someone who's been maced a few times, let me tell you something. That's
a t-shirt.
That's not pleasant.
There we go.
I don't know what Guatemala, is that what you said? Garam
masala.
Okay. I don't know what that is, but if that's what I'm tasting,
There'll be a
I
test
like
at
it.
the end.
You've been testing me all along, Mike.
There's a superpower involved.
This is so I usually don't like pumpkin beers, and that's more on principle. And it's not really ever because of the pumpkin, because pumpkin's not like a huge flavor. It's because anytime you have a pumpkin beer, people feel like they need to throw 500 pounds of nutmeg and friggin' cinnamon,
allspice.
Yeah. It's like, hey, allspice is
in a pear tree.
Allspice is good, but when someone hits you in the face with it, it's not that good. Hold on, Julie's about to bring some knowledge.
Yeah.
Hey, God.
Okay, so garam masala is a...
Was that like a reggae singer from like the 40s?
No.
Oh.
It's a blend of ground spices that is common to North India, South India, Pakistan, and other South Asian cultures.
Oh, that's totally why I didn't get it.
Well,
It's
no
a blended
wonder.
spice.
Right.
Well, this tastes
So-
exactly like that. Then.
Okay, fine. So it's a combination of black peppercorns, mace, cinnamon, cloves, brown cardamom, nutmeg, and green cardamom.
Okay.
But other things can be used as well.
Mistletoe bomb dust.
They did sneak that nutmeg in there, didn't they?
There you go.
The thing about this, though, is that the all those spices don't hit you in the face. They're pretty mellow, and they complement the beer pretty well. And that may be because this is a very big beer as far as gravity goes. So I'm still not a huge pumpkin beer fan, but Emma has a pretty nice pumpkin, so I'm going to give this one a 3.
Good boy, Mike. Okay.
Here it comes, everybody.
Oh, geez. Brace yourselves.
All right, so
He's talking with his hands, too.
His hands are up.
my hands are going. Please,
He's defensive.
patience. I do not like beers that I consider mistletoe bombs that have all of these, very holiday laden, spices that are just not in check with each other. They're just like 482 different beers like this in a 6-week period of time. I just like my, palate. Dave and I just hold hands and we go, no pumpkin beer for us. That is not going to happen,
Except we do not hold hands, just so everyone knows that.
Well, we were skipping that one time.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But I have gone on a, hunt for this spice, and now I found it. It's in this beer. So... Yeah, so I'm going to try to rate the beer for what it is, not whether I like it or not. How about that? Again, I tasted this blind. I had no idea what was in this. I wrote a sweet caramel. I thought it was more of a Belgian strong. That's what I wrote down.
I could see that.
Yeah. I wrote down a spice bomb. Thank you. And clove. And I just thought it was full of mistletoe magic. So that's what I wrote down.
That would be a good beer name, like a Christmas beer.
I agree. I gave it a 3.
Kindle.
See, I was good, sorta.
Maybe I was
Here,
biased.
you can have the rest of my sample.
No, thank you.
Uh-oh.
Because
Kindle's
I
not
knew
going to be nice.
it was a pumpkin beer, and like Dave said, there's nothing wrong with pumpkins. They're a great sugar source. But when you load up a beer with spices that taste like the holidays, I don't like it.
Yeah.
And this had all of those characteristics of a pumpkin pie beer. And there's rarely a pumpkin beer that I like, and mostly because they're so overspiced with, clove and nutmeg and allspice and all that junk. And this is another one. I couldn't see beyond those spices, and to me, it was a 2.
How do I follow that? Okay.
Pass.
No, I'm not going to pass. No, I actually like this beer.
Are you blending grapefruit sculpin with the Emma?
No, I'm cleansing my palate.
Okay, all right.
Pound it.
I've been sipping grapefruit sculpin through the whole show.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Okay, Saison Man, I get what you're trying to do here. And I appreciate it because it is not your typical pumpkin beer, okay? Say what you will about pumpkin beers, and I know that a lot of people do not like pumpkin.
I think Kendall's already said what we will about.
Okay, fine. All I'm saying is that I really like it for what it is because it is different than a typical pumpkin beer. Excuse you? Whatever. I'm giving this a 3.
Huh.
All right, Mike. Superpower, what would it be?
I'd like to have the ability of just delivering BS in any, venue.
You already
whatsoever.
got that. All right, let's
you're
talk about
there,
stuff
man.
you don't have.
That is my superpower. I'm sorry.
Let's talk about one you would like to have.
Oh, totally invisibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could sit in the corner and drink beer all day long.
You already
wouldn't be invisible.
You already kind of have
I
that
already
too.
do that too, right?
Let's move on. Kendall.
I think I'd like just be super fast, like the Flash.
Yeah. It's pretty
So
good.
even if you get into trouble, you can just get
Just
out
get
of there
out?
before they can catch you.
Yeah. You could get in and out of like Kroger pretty quick too.
I don't know. Those cashiers are pretty slow.
Self-checkout.
Maybe, but even then.
Yeah. Well, all right. Julieanna.
I want to be yeast girl.
Okay. There's a lot of bad
put
things.
a lot of thought into that, man. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how
There's a lot of ways that could go bad for you, though.
I'm really not sure how that happened.
Well, I thought you guys would enjoy
I don't know
that.
what the context of that is, but it's
No, I want to be one with the yeast. Because the yeast is where it's at.
So you want to be like a yeast whisperer?
Yeah. But yeast girl. Yeah. That's me. All right.
Okay.
Dave?
I would like the power to influence people and make friends.
Now, there's a book on that you could read.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
All right. Moving on. Our last but not least
There's more beer.
is our TPS
Thank God.
report.
Beer.
Stop it. TPS report.
Since I hear about you having problems with your TPS reports.
Yeah.
Didn't you get that memo?
Well, Saison Man doesn't have a problem with his TPS reports because they're flipping good. Anyways, this is a 4.8% ABV. This is a wild Brett Witt aged in French Chardonnay oak barrels with rose petals. So it's essentially flaked oats, flaked wheat, tangerine lemon zest, and a couple of other things. There you go. Dave.
So this beer is extremely citrusy, very light in body and palate. And it's actually very, very delicious. And as it's warmed up, I've actually enjoyed it a little bit more because some of the citrus flavors are coming out a bit more to me. I think it's really a great offering, and I would love to actually be sitting at the bar at Trinity right now, just putting down some pints of TPS Report. So I'm going to give this one a 4.
Good boy, Mike.
So this is one of the Trinity beers I've had many different times, and I've had it in bottles. I've had it at the tap room itself. This particular sample we had today was the only one that we felt had kind of fallen off with time from maybe some of the fresher examples that we've had. My tasting notes I wrote down, I thought it had kind of a subtle tartness. It was tangy, and you could definitely tell the presence of a wine barrel off of this. I talked to the Bobs, and we both agreed that my SUDS rating is going to be a 3.
You stole my line.
Oh, you can still say it.
Good old boy, Kendall.
It won't be cool, but you can still say it.
I love all the Office Space references coming out of this brewery. The TPS reports, the Red Swing line. He really needs to make a beer called the Bobs.
Yeah, maybe he will.
Yeah, I just love the TPS report. It's the first thing I wrote down after smelling it was kind of alcohol, and I wasn't figuring out where that was coming from. And I think that was maybe the kind of the wine characteristic out of the barrel that I was picking up, because as it warmed up, I picked up some of the oakiness out of the barrel, out of those. Was it Chardonnay barrels he was using for this one? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I definitely got that. I got a lot of floral notes out of it. It was super easy drinking and enjoyable, and a little bit of even citrus there as it warms up. And it's a 4 for me.
This was a great go-to beer for me. Like, great go-to beer.
Mm-hmm.
Easy drinking. You can have it any day of the week. It's like the beer nerd's lawnmower beer of sorts. Ooh.
Wow.
And
I almost spilled my beer.
There is an empty glass right there. Yeah.
Kendall's going all Incredible Hulk in here on these plastic cups.
But what a great citrus ending. You know what I mean? Like, the citrusiness just kind of lingers there for a minute, but
I think that's more of the wine barrel.
You think that's the wine barrel than the citrus? Okay.
I think that's more. I don't think it's a component of the yeast. I think it's more of the wine barrel. That's really coming throughout this.
Could be. That flavor is like really
I think so, because I'm getting a little more oak.
Are you getting oak? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'm just wanting more citrus. And anyways.
It's the drying component.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, this is a good beer for those that like wine that are afraid of beer. This is a good transition beer.
There you go.
I think, anyways. Yeah. I give it a 4.
All right. So,
any last thoughts?
Really good flight. I'm glad that we got to taste such a wide variety of things from Trinity once again. Definitely worth the drive. Always was. It's so great that you can actually get these beers in Denver now. So, we've covered these beers on a different show where we talked about small distribution. That's changed for Trinity, and you have the ability of getting a lot of these beers.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, quite a bit. I still need the 3-liter of the Super Juice, though.
He needs to work on that packaging.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, there's that. Yeah. But, you're right. Overall, great flight and a great collaboration.
Definitely.
All right. Well, great stuff, everyone. And that's going to wrap it up for today's SUDS episode. You can listen to us and catch all of our episodes online, as well as on SoundCloud and TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, PRX, and Spreaker, our native media host. If I can say that, I know, really. iTunes, yes, thank you. iTunes and our own Android app are the easiest ways to enjoy the show on your phone. Just search for Sips Suds Smokes on iTunes or in the Google Play Store.
We love your feedback, and you can reach us online at info@sipsudsmokes.com.
Our daily tasting notes flow out on Twitter every single day. Our handle on Twitter is @SipSudSmoke, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news.
Please do us a favor and take the time to rate this episode if you're listening to us online. That's a big help to us, and we get to see that feedback as well.
Hey, Kendall, why don't you tell us about your beer blog and where to find it?
My wife, the beautiful June, good old gal June, and I blog at beermakes3.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
I want to thank our lovely hosts for joining us today. Good old boy, Dave.
Well, it's lovely to be called lovely, so have a lovely day.
No, wait. I'm the one that asked for the superpower. Yes, okay. Not him.
I already had it.
Good old boy, Mike.
Wow. I'm going to have to rethink my entire superpower thing. So I'm just going to say, keep on sipping, everybody.
Good old boy, Kendall.
It's a pleasure, as always. Drink good beer.
This is good old gal Julieanna, otherwise known as Yeast Girl.
No, that does not work.
Whatever. Works for me.
Maybe a t-shirt.
Thanks for listening, guys, and keep on chuggling.
This has been a one-tan hand production of Sip, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see you all next time.